Hello, and a warm welcome to all of you watching this video brought to you by Sightline. I am Vibha Ravi, Senior Editor, and I have with me today two industry leaders, Aditya Sharma, who is the Head of Process Solutions for the India region at Merck Life Science, and Subodh Deshmukh, who is the CEO of Aragen Bioscience. So, Subodh, given the background of the BIOSECURE Act, how likely are RFPs to turn into purchase orders for Indian companies?
BioSecure Act is still an evolving situation, as you know. We have had a lot of interest, significant RFP flow, and not just RFPs, but customer visits to our sites to see for themselves, because some of our manufacturing activities are indeed done under CGMP conditions, and quality parameters are very important. Those RFPs are slowly moving through, and we are very confident that there are opportunities to realize significant business. I'll also say that in general, across India, biotechnology services, particularly biotechnology manufacturing services, are maturing very fast. And therein lies an opportunity for not just Aragen, but the entire industry.
Aditya, what do you think? Have you seen an increase in demand? In your case, what are the other factors that are leading to a demand for your products and services?
We see a flow of business to India. Now, how much BioSecure Act would divert business to India from China? I think it would take some time for us to really see, because there is a horizon for this act. But I won't read too much into that. I think there is enough competition out there already in other parts of the world, right? In Asia and globally. And I think Indian companies have been doing very well. In terms of demand, I see, we as providers of tools and technologies to Indian pharmaceutical biotech industry, in the last couple of years, we have seen the demand bit subdued after COVID, but we are seeing demand picking up now. And I think the reason is that more and more Indian companies are successful in getting into regulated markets such as US, Europe. We have been playing, of course, we have been strong in the rest of the world markets. BioSecure Act might give some fillip to it, but I think overall we have very strong fundamentals. So I think over a horizon of next 10 years, I see a very bright future, not only for products like biosimilars, but vaccines where we have very strong. Small molecules is another space where we have been doing well, and I see a nice growth there in that business as well. So overall, the whole ecosystem is actually quite good.
What is your feel on the fact that quite a few Indian companies also source ingredients from the Wuxi group of companies? Do you think that could possibly impact Indian companies, or it's not going to be the case?
Well, I will answer your question by saying that supply chain security is maybe really even more important today because of global events, not just because of the BioSecure Act, but also other global events, as you see,
Yes.
whether it's wars or trade barriers that could come up. And when we talk to our customers, they place a high value on supply chain security, ensuring that medicines and therapies that we help them make can reach patients reliably is a number one priority. And we at Aragen really have taken that on as a serious initiative. And I'll give you an example. Just about 3 years ago, more than 40% of raw materials that we used for our manufacturing activities were sourced from outside of India, primarily from China. And these were starting materials, building blocks, mostly for small molecule APIs and intermediates. And fast forward to today, our dependence is less than 20%. And that's because we have diligently worked on growing domestic suppliers. Not only that, we have actually made a strong effort to access suppliers within a 200-kilometer radius of a given site, because not only does that ensure supply chain security, but it also actually helps in terms of reducing transportation costs, greenhouse gas emissions. So it has many other benefits. Now, this doesn't happen, overnight. It requires a diligent effort to develop suppliers, to ensure technology is put in place. And again, Aragen, because of our long experience, 20 plus years in the manufacturing space, we have helped multiple suppliers and partners to get up to that level. I will also add that some of our Western customers, whether it's Europe-based or US-based companies, have encouraged and taken a keen interest in this. So we are also using help from our customers to help grow our source of starting materials. So all in all, I think it's a comprehensive response to ensuring that we have secure supply chains. And I feel really confident that companies like us will be the solution providers. Despite the disruptions we'll see, I'm sure we'll see those in the years to come.
We do know of the proposed tariffs on China, right? The US is thinking of coming up with these tariffs. So if that happens, does that change the situation significantly in favor of India as well? Or there's also some talk of tariffs on Indian goods and services. So how do the both of you think the tariff scenario could play out for India?
It's speculation at this stage around what tariffs might take hold. Clearly, there might be an impact in certain regions of the world. Certainly China has been mentioned in that light. But again, we want to be ready for any such future scenario by making sure that we have capacity and capability. And I think if you look at manufacturing in India, there has been a tremendous progress over the last several years in terms of our ability to do diverse range of small molecules, large molecules, vaccines, and certainly the quality systems required to do that. But there are certainly areas where we can still improve, particularly licensing and the regulatory regime, simplifying import-export, particularly for manufacturing for export to Western markets. And I think if we focus on the competitiveness of Indian sites, that will be very important to ensure that we are ready to play in any situation where other countries might have challenges.
Trade barriers, as we see, it would take probably some time before we really see what are these tariffs going to look like, and what's the time horizon here, how much would be the impact of this. So if the tariffs go up and you are able to bring down your pricing, and you can neutralize some of those impacts. And we see the manufacturers in China, they have huge capacities. From India perspective, I think for Indian companies to really compete, I think they need to again go back to basics and fundamentals, and not really relying too much on some of these trade barriers, or looking at those tariffs, because you never know when they change, right? Because they change with the policy, with the government. I think the fundamentals and basics have to be right. We need to have world-class quality products and services. We have great talent available here in India. How do we build the skills there? How do we remain a cost comparative, a provider of these goods and services to the world, which we have been doing successfully for the last several decades, especially in the small molecules. Large molecules is another play, but we are learning the game. And of course, if we want to build strong brands for ourselves in regulated markets such as US and Europe, we need the front end. If you see, most of the Indian companies today are focused a lot more on manufacturing, excelling in manufacturing. And I think the next natural step would be for them to take their products globally. And I see that happening probably next 10 to 20 years of time frame, where you will see some of these products. You already see there are companies who have launched their own brands globally and they are taking share.
The two of you recently, or sometime back actually, had got together for this production of MABs. So would the two of you like to talk a bit more about that?
At Aragen, we are focused on building a platform, Vibha, that really helps us provide leading edge solutions for our customers that are developing novel therapeutics for human and animal health using biologics. For To do that, we have really two main focus areas. One is a cell line engineering platform that starts with our R&D team in the US and transitions into process development and manufacturing in India. And second, we have built our site in India with absolutely world-class capabilities. So both in terms of talent as well as the site infrastructure. That is, the site is designed using the latest single-use bioreactor technology, the latest downstream purification technology, as well as is designed for intensified processing. So you can right off the bat have both speed in development, which is critical for innovator companies, as well as the best cost of goods. And that's again important for biosimilars or large volume biologics. So how do we do that, right? To do that right, we needed a partner. And Merck has a proven expertise in many of the areas in process technology that we wanted to lead in terms of our platform. So instead of inventing everything in-house, we collaborated with Merck, and I think it's an extensive collaboration that we envision here. It started with getting their state-of-the-art equipment for our processing suites, including lab development, analytical development, as well as for manufacturing. And then it goes much beyond that because to really develop technology together, you need a very close collaboration. So we have access to, for example, their development center in India, which allows our scientists to go over in the Merck labs and try new instrumentation, talk to their experts, and exchange ideas. We are jointly doing scientific publications and posters. They've also graciously offered to train some of our new talent.
We are very happy that we have been able to contribute. And I believe we want to take it further from here. For example, we see a very vibrant emerging biotech ecosystem developing in India. Yeah. So you would see there are a lot of incubators coming up. Government is supporting a lot of those incubators. Now these are small companies who are setting up their own R&D and they want to scale up. They want to bring their products to the market faster. They would need, of course, someone like us who can help them there. But when they take their product to scale up, they would need somebody like Aragen, right, who can help them, guide them, uh, and show them that yes, at this scale the product works fine, and then help them in developing that. So we have started working in that area as well, and we have seen success there. And I would be very happy if we could support some of these small companies in partnership with Aragen, help them build their products and scale up their products and processes. I think that would be the next step. So we are getting into that direction and we are very happy it's working.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. And if I may, I did want to just add that the journey has already begun. So
Yes.
we are actively working with Indian biotech companies, both innovators as well as those developing biosimilars. And I think also with government organizations. So with BIORAC, for example, we have a proposal to have a part of the Aragen site be an incubator so that startups can come access some of the sophisticated technology that we have. And we can also help them scale, get to their clinical trials faster with the best cost of goods, as an example. So I really think that we are opening up our site to work jointly with government, academia, and then partners like Merck.
Great, actually, because this has been one of the models that even global companies have adopted. As J&J, very famously, they have a lot of support of the similar kind that you just spoke about, Subodh. So it would be great if this works. If one can help another come up the ladder, the growth value chain with new products, etc. So I guess that is the objective. But Subodh, could you tell us right now where are the strengths that Aragen has and where you want to take it, say 5 years or 10 years down the line?
So, as a company, Aragen has been building on our strengths throughout the 20 plus years that we have existed. And we've grown to serve more than 400 customers, including small biotechs, all the way to today, 16 of the top 20 big pharma are customers. And then specifically in biologics manufacturing, we had already announced the $30 million project in Bangalore. It's near completion. It will be qualified fully, and already part of it is operational, and the rest of it will be operational by end of first quarter next year, 2025. But that is just one part of the journey. I think our investment continues. We are in total adding capacity with 500-liter 2 KL and 5 KL bioreactors at that site that can go all the way from process development to full-scale manufacturing and can produce large quantities of proteins and monoclonal antibodies. So that's one vision. We're going to follow that up with fill finish capabilities so that we can have formulation and supply formulated drug substance to our customers. On the other hand, we are very actively involved in antibody-drug conjugates. So this is a newer area where we're combining small molecules that are usually payloads with monoclonal antibodies that are used to target the payloads. And we have really made strong advances in conjugation technology at Aragen. And together, we can provide ADCs. We are building a new site in Hyderabad to support our ADC projects. And that investment is, again, in addition to what we have announced. We have a 5-year roadmap, Vibha, that I can share. We will be investing about $250 million in just new facilities and upgradation of our existing facilities. So that's a strong commitment. But to me, it can even grow further because we really always listen to our customers and we want to participate in their journey. So we are willing to invest as there are needs for both technology as well as capacity.
ADCs is definitely one area that has seen, rather, that is expected to see explosive growth. Is that going to be a focus area? Have initial interest from customers in this field?
Indeed, we do, and we are actually already doing R&D scale projects in ADCs, also building our capabilities and publishing. So we are ready to do GMP scale activities in a few months when our GMP site becomes ready. So you're absolutely right. This is a growth area for us. But not just ADCs, also we are working on novel antibody formats, which are more complex, natively expressed conjugates, such as antibody peptide conjugates. And we are working with some of the leading biotechnology companies in the US, both in the East Coast and West Coast, to bring these novel antibody formats forward. So working with those leading companies also gives us a lot of experience to improve the Aragen expression systems or cell engineering capabilities, for example. And all of that helps because that production for all of that work can happen in India. So I think our ability to see where the leading edge of technology is going in the US helps us be very strong in our Indian facility as well.
Yeah, that's right. So a related question, Subodh, is that since you would be making these investments, right, you need funds. And we have seen certain companies, CRDMOs like Life Sciences, moving towards, say, an IPO or VC investment. So there's already a stake, right, with Goldman Sachs in Aragen. Are you planning to further raise funds from VCs, or are you also like Sai thinking of going public? How are you planning to raise funds?
Yeah, we're very fortunate at Aragen that we have a very strong investor group that's backing us. Um, you may have seen recent announcements about additional funding raise that we're doing in the private markets,
Mhm.
and that's going very well. And again, I would say, watch this space. I'm sure down the road there'll be more opportunities for Aragen to both raise funds as well as grow and get additional investment.
Okay. That was a bit of a diplomatic answer, but I'll take it.
Well, I
Okay,
think
so
we will soon share when it's publicly available, the results from our latest fundraise.
okay. So Aditya, we spoke a bit about, R&D for novel molecules in India. There are certain companies that you're also helping in the CGT space, right? You signed a memorandum of understanding recently with an Indian company. So, which companies do you see making headway in the CGT space in India? And is the use seen in oncology alone or in other disease areas too?
Okay, so we recently signed MOU with a company called Genex Genomics. It's a small company based out of Nasik, and but they have exciting product line. And through our MOU with Aragen, we are trying to help Genex Genomics with the help of Aragen, that how can they scale up their business faster, their products faster. And I think that's a great example of not only signing an MOU, but really putting it in practice, right? And really seeing the results of it. So I am very happy there. On novel modalities such as CGT, VGT, we see quite an excitement in India. There are several companies who are getting into this space. However, in my opinion, I would say that it might take time for the companies to really look at what therapies they want, like which you talked about, oncology, and if there are autoimmune or other areas where they would like to focus on. Subodh talked about ADC. I think that is one space which is where I see actually the most excitement and interest. Um, CGT, VGT for India, I think that would take some time. We have seen some success in CAR T though, which
Yeah.
we all know. But I think it would take some time before the companies really start taking advantage of it. There is a lot which we still need to achieve in the biosimilar space. We just started there and it's been doing well. I think the companies can scale up that business faster, work in the adjacent areas such as ADC to really up the game. Um, CGT, VGT, in my opinion, might take some time before we really start seeing something worthwhile coming out, or a real business coming out of it in India.
Okay, so then could you talk about the ADCs, because we know quite a few CDMOs like, Piramal has been quite prominent in this space. So which are the Indian companies, now I'm not speaking about CDMOs here, but which other Indian companies do you think could are investing in ADCs and could probably move ahead a little faster than the others?
Sure. So I think if you look at EDC area, almost all the biosimilar manufacturers which we have been talking to, they are at different stages. So like Subodh talked about their interest to get into ADC. I wouldn't really not like to take specific names because many of them are our
Okay.
customers, and
Yeah.
yeah, so because of confidentiality. But I think almost you can guess. I mean, almost everyone is looking at it, and in my opinion, that's the right space to be in because one, you can clearly differentiate your product, right? And yeah, we have seen really some success in India with some of the companies who have really gone ahead with ADC. They have seen their products doing really well. So I think that would be the right space. And at Merck, we have an extensive range of technologies available. We are launching new products in those areas. For example, we have recently launched the bioreactor for ADC, which is one of its kind in the world. There is a lot of expertise available within India, within APAC, and globally in Merck to help our customers develop their processes faster, optimize their processes faster. So anyone who is looking at ADC manufacturing or process development, I think at Merck we can really help them to accelerate their development. Yeah.
So GLP-1s have been a talk of the town everywhere. Yeah, ever since
Yeah.
no disc made that big splash, and Eli Lilly, of course. So where do you see the Indian companies fitting in? One, of course, is the generics which they are planning to launch. But
Yeah.
do you see any other notable developments in this space in India, and how are you helping them?
I spoke to a few of our customers. They are looking at this space. Um, but I have not seen much of very serious discussions around it. Maybe it might take some time before it really takes off. I think most of the companies are still evaluating, is it the right space to be in? What's the probability of success? And of course, the competition is heating up. Like which you said, you took some names. These are some large global companies who are into this space. So, but I hear people talking about it, and some of them they have interest to get into it, but they're still evaluating. They're evaluating their option, business model. Um, Nobody has come to us, very seriously and saying, yes, we have this plan. We are really getting into it. We want to buy this. I have not seen it so far. Yeah, but there are talks and interest, of course.
Okay, so the same question, topic for you, Subodh. How is Aragen placed there? Have you seen requests? How big is this opportunity for you?
So first, I would say that Aragen is very much involved in GLP-1s and next generation molecules that are currently in the clinic, working with large global biopharma companies. So we've been involved in discovery, we've been involved in development, we supply certain peptide fragments and other key materials for global companies. Um, I think beyond that, we have not really manufactured because we don't have a plan to supply anything that is under our own brand. We certainly our model is CRDMO, so we rely on our customers to tell us what they want, and I think it's very exciting. It's early days. I mean, today GLP-1s are peptides and injectable drugs. A molecule that we are working with a global big pharma would be possibly a small molecule solution for a GLP-GIP inhibitor. I think we're keeping an eye on what's next, and also at the same time enabling the next generation of peptides beyond GLP-1s. Also, of course, helping our customers advance their pipelines.
Right. So could you speak a bit more about the peptide space? So what are the other exciting molecules or that you're working on, or what are the other new therapy developments that you are seeing?
So we see certainly more adoption of peptides as therapeutic agents across different different disease areas. I won't go into specific customers or targets that we are working on because that is obviously confidential information. But we have seen a big uptick, and today we have more than 100 people working, at any given time on peptide projects. So that just speaks to the scale of the R&D effort that we're doing, in addition to a significant amount of manufacturing activity.
Okay. Subodh, you did speak about support in terms of export, etc. How could it work out in concrete terms? What are the kind of incentives or the kind of support that the government needs to give to this segment?
Yes, we need to go beyond that. I mentioned particularly in the biotechnology space, there is a lot of activity. BIRAC and DBT have held several sessions to look at how to supercharge biotech hubs in different parts of India, because it really takes an ecosystem to improve the technology landscape. One ask that we always have of the government is there needs to be an active program to make Indian CRDMOs more competitive when it comes to the global competition. So whether it's European competitors, US competitors, which are now seeing more onshoring, or of course, competitors from China and Korea. Um, it is important that import-export regulations can be simplified, can be further simplified. This year, we have launched an industry group that actually brings together all CROs and CDMOs. Our full-time director and global CEO, Mani Kantipudi, is one of the co-founders of this initiative. So I think, along with our colleagues in other CROs and CDMOs, we are certainly pushing the agenda to give ideas and participate in making the CRDMO industry stronger.
Aditya, I just want to now speak a bit about drug discovery software, which is Edison, I believe, which is the
Yes.
first AI-powered software as a service platform. So how has that helped you with your services in India? Who are you approaching for this? How is it helping you as a company help others?
Sure. Thank you, Vibha. At Merck, we have been working in the areas around artificial intelligence and machine learning and bringing out these products and services to enable pharmaceutical companies to reach to their target molecule faster. We screen them and make sure that they quickly arrive with which molecules they want to move forward. And Edison is one of such products. We have another product called Cynthia. So Edison helps you to identify which molecules you could target for what therapy or what disease. Cynthia helps us to find the right route very quickly as to how you can synthesize this molecule, right? So these are two products, and we have been engaging some of the institutes, government institutes, for example. NIPER is one of them. We have been talking to them as to how we can, bring this software to help them in the research, for example. We are also engaging some of these private pharmaceutical companies in India, and we have started that. It's a new product. We have another product called mPredict, which we have launched. This is a product which is again AI based. And if there is a company who has got an API and looking at the right co-formers, this mPredict can predict that quickly for you, and then it saves a lot of research time, and man hours which you put on that. So essentially, it accelerates your journey. You can bring your products to market faster. So some of these products now we are promoting in India, and I think probably over a period of next 1 year, I think we should start seeing some traction there. It's a space which is building right now. So we are actively engaging our customers, as well as we are reaching out to government as well and showcasing some of these products, how we can help Indian companies there.
And are there any other new initiatives, Aditya, that you would like to talk about?
Sure. So one is we are bringing investments in India. So we are expanding our facilities. Yeah, we have two sites in Bangalore, and both of them we are expanding, we are investing. In Mumbai, we have Patal Ganga, where we have our warehouse, one of the finest, globally, one of the largest. We are expanding that. We are also opening an application lab in Mumbai. That's going to happen in February. And through these labs, through these facilities, we want to enable Indian pharmaceutical industry to get their products faster, and we can train a lot of these professionals in some of these labs. In Mumbai, that will be application lab for small molecules. So if there are people who want to understand how to build the right formulation quickly, faster, we can do that. We have a lab in Bangalore in Pune, which Subodh was referring to earlier, where we bring a lot of industry experts, and they work with our experts and we train them, and we have theory and practical hands-on training there. So we enable a lot of that skill building in India. And then third is we are quite actively engaged with government as well. And Subodh touched upon on some of those areas. We really want to contribute here in building this whole ecosystem, which is around academia, the industry, technology providers like us, and see how we grow this whole ecosystem together. Picking up from here, there are a lot of ideas from organizations like BIRAC, for example, we talked about. There is a lot of incubating centers which they are setting up across the country, and we have been in talks with government and organizations like BIRAC that how Merck can support in some of these incubation centers, whether we train these professionals. We talked about AI ML technologies to help them to accelerate their process development, product development. So there are a lot of these areas across on which we are working right now. I see a quite good future going forward on some of these areas.
You had a memorandum with the DPIIT, right?
So this DPIIT, primarily the focus is around helping to build the right ecosystem for something we call emerging biotechs. EBs, what we call them, right? So in our lab in Bangalore, we would like to bring some of these professionals. We will be picking up 2 or 3 good companies. We will collaborate with them. We will consult them how to accelerate their journey. And so that's one. We have a large science and lab solutions business. So my business is process solutions within life science, but we have another business which is SLS, science and lab solutions, which is focused on drug discovery, and they work very, very closely with institutions like NIPER, IMTech, NII, ICGB. So they are working very closely with the academia and research space. And then process solutions comes in, and how do we help take this process further up while scaling up. So within life science, we are trying to build this seamless connect.
Yeah, I guess they aren't industry ready graduates, as we know. So I guess both of you are working together. So both, would you like to speak a bit more about that?
That for us at Aragen, AI and digital is a huge part of our journey, including journey bringing in fresh graduates into the company, because they start with digital tools. Most of our onboarding and our initial electronic systems are fully digital, whether it's accessing library resources, to writing reports using AI tools, to using retrosynthetic tools, for example, to find the best routes for chemical synthesis. But more importantly, where we are seeing massive results is in the manufacturing space, where for some of our customers, we've been able to do machine learning based algorithms on data that we generate during manufacturing to optimize parameters and essentially provide significant, I'm talking about multi tens of crores of savings per campaign. At any given time, we have about 10 to 20 pilots running within the company, and those that work and deliver good results, we are fully implementing. Procurement, we are routinely doing, using tools like reverse auctions and AI-based searches. So an internal search engine that is extremely sophisticated and allows us to access the best rates, best timelines, and the best suppliers. And similarly, many operational areas where tools driven by AI and sort of AI digital assistants are making a big difference to colleagues and at Aragen across the world.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was great talking to both of you.